Hello HEMA friends. Today I want to give you an advice on how to start your own HEMA training. If you don't have a HEMA club around your own place, this is the video for you. So let's start. Now the first thing that you should do now is try to decide which is your favorite weapon that you want to train with. If you have already your weapon of choice, there is no problem. But if you have still not decided which weapon you like the most, just give a look around on YouTube and search for HEMA channels. You can of course watch my own videos if you have not done so. If you want to search for other YouTube channels, I will advise the Blood and Iron channel and the Mid Eastern one, which have a huge number of videos which treat about different weapons and different system of training. There is of course a good number of HEMA channels around, but I want to advise you these two at first, simply because they have a good number of videos which both shows and talk about different weapons and different system of training. Now of course the ideal at the beginning is having a friend to train with. But if you at the very beginning are alone, there is no problem, because you can still do a number of things. You can train your form with solo drills. You can start to learn the basic cuts or thrust that you can find around on YouTube videos. You can also train your footwork, and of course you can learn about theory and stuff by reading a number of books. Of course, to start training you need some tools, and I will advise you the very basic tools that you need to start your own training. The first one is a nylon sword, simply because the nylon sword is cheap. If you decide to change weapon after the first month, there is no problem, because you have spent not so much. And there is a number of interesting nylon swords around, made by Black Fencer. They are named Steel-like, simply because they are quite realistic in terms of weight and of stiffness. So you can start to buy a Black Fencer nylon sword, and you will not regret that. The second thing that you should search for is safety equipment. And you should buy at first two basic things, which are the gloves and the mask. Now, of the two, the mask is the most important one at the beginning, and you should buy your mask, a very good mask in my opinion. So don't start with a cheap one, because you are just wasting money. So search for a very good mask. It is important that you check that the mask is CEN level 2. There are two levels of mask, 1 and 2. The level 1 is not enough for HEMA, so you should search for the CEN level 2, which is stronger. And if you buy a very good mask at the beginning, you will spare money, and again, you will not regret that. The second protection is, as I said, the gloves. The gloves, you can start with even light gloves, light padded gloves. It depends from what kind of weapon you start to practice. But at the beginning you should not go for hard sparring, in my opinion. So you can pick up very light gloves, and everything will be fine. When you decide to go for sparring, you should also have the jacket, and you should buy more protecting gloves. Okay, so after this, the second important topic, which is the saws. Okay, not this one. Yes, this one. So you should search for the sources, and the best place in which you can find it on the internet is h.e.m.a. h.e.m.a is a beautiful HEMA wiki which is full of interesting stuff. You can find a lot of treaty, the story of the treaty. You can find for a lot of this treaty also the drawings. You can find a lot of sources in there, and you should search for this internet site at first. Now the second thing that you can do is of course search for books. because there is a good number of treaty which is currently printed, and you can find it on the internet more or less easily. There is the Fior di Battaglia, which was made by Guy Windsor, the 133, which was made by Royal Armories. There is also the Thibault, there is the Mayer one. You can find a good number of treaty on the internet right now. When you have decided which kind of treaty you want to study, you should also search for other people that already studied this kind of manual. Simply because it is not really easy to understand what kind of information are contained in the treaty at the beginning, because the way in which the old masters explained the actions and the theory, it is completely different from the way in which today we are used to do so. So try to search for someone, be it on the internet or at a HEMA event, or try to ask to an instructor online if he can help you to better understand the things, the bits of the manual which are more harder for you to understand. There is also a good number of h.e.m.a books which explain modern practice around now. So you should also search for this kind of book if you want to compensate the fact that you don't have an instructor that teaches you directly. So search also for this kind of books. You will find a number of them on the internet. It is not very hard. When you start to search for also treaty, you will find easily also the books which are related to modern practice. One last thing which is useful is joining the community on Facebook, for example. You will find the h.e.m.a community in pages like h.e.m.a Alliance or h.e.m.a International Discussions. These two pages are very good to find new information about tournaments, clubs, or whatever. You can search for a new club, a new instructor, and this will be a good idea if you want to start a club. That said, I hope this video will help you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. If you want to support me more, give a look to my Patreon page. You will find the link in the video description. Again, thanks for watching, and see you next time.